Fine, we'll just start. Hey guys, my name is Victoria, welcome back to my channel. This is the first video I'm filming this year in this chair in 2023. I don't know, it's gonna be hopefully another year of reading, but before we get into the new books of 2023 of this year, I'm going to film my short little December wrap-up. It's gonna be short. I can't actually ever promise that a video of mine will be short because I love talking, but I've read 3 books in December, which is an okay number given that December is a busy month. And I'm gonna tell you about them, give you my reviews, and yeah, do that like every other month we've been doing for the past 2 years. I, by the way, listened to all of them as audiobooks. Great. Okay. The first book I finished listening to in December was If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. A book that I've been wanting to read for forever. Ever since I found out that it's, you know, about a Shakespeare drama group, I was like, yep. Sign me up. If We Were Villains is about a group of friends at university. They're studying drama and they study specifically Shakespearean drama. So every year they're doing Shakespeare plays. There's competitiveness and drama in the group itself. There's romance in the group, so there are some certain pairings. And towards the middle of the book, I'd say, there is a murder. Someone dies. I'm not gonna talk too much about that because that's the whole like climax of the story. The whole book is told by the protagonist's perspective, Oliver Marks. He feels a bit like an outsider. There's kind of like a hierarchy in the group, especially when it comes to like performing and auditioning for the different plays that they're performing, because they all have their certain characters and they always get cast for the same sort of figures in plays. When that suddenly changes, there is like a whole change in the dynamic of the group, so that was interesting to see and to witness, I guess. The story is told in 2 different time zones, so we have 10 years before and 10 years after. Oliver being in the middle of his studies and then also 10 years later. Now let's go to my verdict of the book. I gotta say, I expected a bit more. It's just because Shakespeare, Dark Academia, it should be the perfect fit. I think I expected too much from the book I only listened to. I feel like I need to reread it and really read it and get into it, because I kind of wanted a bit more sort of like a reflection on Shakespeare. And I know that that's in there. I know that because I've seen people talk about it, about the foreshadowing, about the symbolism of the different plays that are performed in this book. You know, just listening to it for the first time, I feel like was a good way to get into the story and get to know the characters, but I feel like I need to like reread it, like annotate it and analyze it, because when you know more about the plays, I bet you will know much more about the book itself. I would recommend to read Julius Caesar. That is like the big thing in this book, so definitely read that. I haven't, but I know the story. Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet. I forgot if they're doing Henry V or King Lear. I think they're doing King Lear. I'm not entirely sure right now. I feel like having the background knowledge of those plays would help you to, you know, get more into the story. But as I said, I wanted a bit more nuance with the way that Shakespeare's plays were used. And I know that that's in there. I know that I need to read it again, but I thought it would be a bit more obvious. I felt like they only, you know, performed Shakespeare plays, and that was Shakespeare's contribution to it all. And a lot of times characters would quote Shakespeare, and I liked that, I love that. But I wanted the like foreshadowing to be a bit more obvious, or maybe I'm just not intelligent enough. No, but I did like the book. I gave it 3.75 stars just because I expected a lot, but I will read it again. I'll find out more about it. I like books with potential, not meaning that they should be edited and rewritten, but with each time reading the book again, you will find something again, and those books I like. Okay, the next book I read was a classic, also a reread for me. I wanted to make it into a tradition to listen to A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens every single Christmas, and I did. I started on the 23rd and I finished on Christmas Eve. I was listening to it while I was getting ready for Christmas Eve dinner, and I loved it. If you don't know, Charles Dickens writes about Ebenezer Scrooge. Scrooge is a horrible man. He hates Christmas. He hates everything good in life, actually. Never sees the light in anything. Even though his nephew invites him time and time again to spend Christmas with them, he always declines. And then one night, he is visited by his old friend Jacob Marley as a ghost because he died 7 years ago. And Marley tells him, hey, listen, you have a chance to live a great afterlife and to still enjoy your life if you just listen to the people that are going to visit you tonight, and if you make the decision to change. It's a very classic story. If you don't know it, I highly recommend you to read it. I feel like it's a book that everybody needs to read at least once, and it's very short. It's such a short little novella, and I love it. I love the way it's written, and I just really like the characters and the whole story. I give this 4.5 stars. I like it, and I listened to it, and the audiobook was great because it was read by Tim Curry, and I love Tim Curry. The last book I read is The Escape Artist, The Man Who Broke Out of Auschwitz by Jonathan Friedland. I gave this book 4 stars. This is a non-fiction book and it's the true story of Rudolf Verba. I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong. It's like written V-R-B-A, Verba. I think that's how the narrator says it. And he was the first Jew who broke out of Auschwitz to like warn the world. And it's an incredibly insightful book. It's incredibly detailed and brutal, and you know, just check the trigger warnings as always. It is a non-fiction book, and I don't really read that much non-fiction, but it felt like a novel, and you always need to remind yourself that this is actually a true story, that this is not something invented in fantasy or something, that this is based on a true story, and it's always horrifying and terrible. And even though this topic is incredibly difficult to discuss or you know, just listen to, I feel like it's so important that we always remember what happened. This book just gets you so close to the scene and into everything that happened. It really shows you everything, and it shows what was done in Auschwitz itself, and also surrounding it and how everything started. Or just these tiny things that were there in the beginning that no one thought would escalate or develop into what it in the end was. And it's incredibly difficult. You know, I read about it constantly, and I watch movies and I watch documentaries because I feel like it's a time that we just can't ever forget. So that was the book. It's incredibly important to listen to, and I would love to recommend it, but again, like the trigger warnings, it's incredibly brutal and it's incredibly detailed. So if that's something that, you know, could trigger you in any way, please don't listen to it or read it. Okay. And this was it. I know this was short. I know that most of the time my monthly wrap-ups are so long, but I read 3 books, and I'm not gonna say only because I read 3 books, and that's a great number. All right, let me know what you read in December. What was your last book that you read in 2022? And what are you excited to read this January? Please let me know in the comments. Other than that, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. Comment down below what you would like to see next. If you want me to ever talk about something that you'd be interested in that you think would fit my channel, let me know in the comments. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and click the bell next to the subscription button to never miss an upload. I'll update you guys on everything on my Instagram. You can check out my social media down below, including other links that I want you guys to check out. Is it too late to say Happy New Year? I'm gonna say it again. Happy New Year, everybody. And yeah, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and hopefully see you in my next video. Bye! Oops, wrong order. The first book I listened to, but that's what... But I actually haven't... Meine Fresse, ich hasse meine... But, you know, just listening to it for the... You know, just listening... Oh my god. This is the first... Subscribe to my channel if you subscribe to my channel. That with each new time, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and click the bell next to it. Subscribe to my channel and click the. Okay, the next one. Okay, the next book I read was a. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Don't forget to click the bell to always get uploads. Fuck. Let me know what you've recently read. What did you? That sounded weird. That's